Don't tell me you're about to make that same sad salad that you always do and take it to that barbecue you're about to go to. No, you're not, because I'm about to show you 3 incredible, delicious, super easy salads that are gonna wow everybody at the next pool party, barbecue, or family occasion. They're gonna think you're a pro in the kitchen, not because you are, but because these recipes are that amazing. One of my favorite things about salads is how vibrant and beautiful they can look with minimal effort. We have all these incredible ingredients that we're going to use across these salads. And not only are they beautiful, they are packed with nutrients, vitamins, minerals, all the things that our bodies need during summer to feel refreshed and replenished. 90% of the ingredients here are seasonal. They are specific to the summer season. And that's really important because seasonal vegetables are exactly what our body needs at this time. They help to cool our body like mint and watermelon, and they help to hydrate us like cucumbers and peaches and peas. And so we're gonna use all these beautiful ingredients to create these delicious salads. So we're gonna start off with the beetroot salad. The color of this is spectacular. I'm gonna start off by chopping up the veggies, and that is our beetroot to start with. I like putting, oh my gosh, you'd think I'd never done this before. I like cutting them up into semi-large chunks. I'll show you the size I like, but honestly, you can do them any size you want. Another thing that's really amazing about fruits and vegetables, on top of all the things I've already said, is that the different colors represent the different vitamins and minerals that are inside of them. And so you know you're getting a wide array of all the nutrients that you need just by looking on your plate and making sure that you have all the different colors on your plate. So it's a really easy cheat way to make sure that you're getting all the right things that your body needs. I thought I bought big gherkins, but I bought these mini ones. So ideally buy the big ones, but either way you're chopping them up anyway, so not too much of a loss. I usually chop these up really fine. So actually, this sauce or the dressing for this that I'm showing you, it was originally the dressing that I used for my potato salad. And so you can actually totally substitute the beetroots in this for potatoes, and it will make one of the most delicious potato salads that you've probably tried. I make it a lot and it always goes down such a treat. In the UK, we call it gherkins, and in the US, they call them pickles. To be honest, I think the UK one makes way more sense because there are so many things that can be pickled. So how do you know when they're saying a pickle, what's it actually talking about? So I'm chopping these up pretty fine because they're kind of there for more of the flavor and a slight crunch rather than being the main act, you know? They're the backup singers in this dish. I love having meals of just salads sometimes. So often I'll actually make up all 3 of these salads and have them as a main dinner meal, or if people are coming over, having a range of salads and maybe one other thing that's cooked. But these are so filling that you really don't need much else with it. So now I'm just gonna mix in the sauce first, and then I'll throw in the rest of the ingredients. So for that, I've got some yogurt. So a lot of the time, these dishes, especially when you make it with potato, like a potato salad, they use mainly mayo. I mean, I'm not much of a fan of that because I don't really love the texture of mayo as much, and it does feel quite oily after a while. So this is a healthier option, but it really doesn't taste healthier. It doesn't feel like a healthier option. So I put in mayo, yogurt, I'm putting in some English mustard. You can use Dijon mustard as well if you want to. And then I'm throwing in just a tiny bit of agave, just to balance out, just to give it a little bit of sweetness. I actually forgot this, but I'm gonna add it in now. It's apple cider vinegar, just a drop to balance out all the flavors. So it's giving it a little bit of a citric note. And then some pepper and a little bit of salt. And that's your sauce done. And then the last thing I'm gonna chop up is the dill. Now this is where all the flavor is at in this dish. It's a fragrant herb, it's really refreshing in taste, and it's really light as well. And honestly, this salad you can actually make the night before. So if you're going somewhere early and you don't want to faff about in the morning, you can make the salad up the night before, and actually it always tastes better the next day because all the flavors have marinated. And then just chuck everything in. So I'm throwing in the gherkins and then the beetroots. And then all we're gonna do is give it a big mix. And that is your beetroot salad complete. I cannot wait for you to be able to smell this. It smells so fresh. It smells just like summer. I'm doing this because if my mum watches this video, she'll say there's so much still left in the bowl, you have to scrape everything out. First one done, on to the next. Salad 2 is my summer snap pea salad. I am not over exaggerating when I say I made it every single day for a full week, and I ate it for lunch, and it was something I looked forward to every single day. I was so excited to get to lunch because of it. So to start off with, we're gonna blanch the asparagus. Now, the reason you blanch veggies is because it helps to retain its color, texture, and nutrients too. So that means we basically put it into a pot of boiling water with salt for about 2 to 4 minutes, and then you're gonna dunk it straight into a bowl of ice water. You don't have to blanch the asparagus, you can cut them raw or just boil them. But since I experienced them being blanched, I can't go back now, it just really does change. Okay, ice baby. Meanwhile, let's cut up the rest of our ingredients. So these snap peas, I know it's a bit tedious. Ideally, you de-string them like this because this part is a little bit fibrous and difficult to chew, so the texture is a lot nicer when you take this out. My dad is my mum's sous chef and he does all the chopping for her in the kitchen. And so little jobs like this always remind me of him because I would walk into the kitchen and he's sitting there with like a pile of these. When it comes to chopping up the snap peas, I like to do it in, obviously you can chop them however you like, but I really like when they're slanted and small, so I usually take them at a slant. And then they're easier to bite into and still have a good crunch to them. You're almost chopping it vertically. I'm one of those people where when I find something that I really love, especially when it's salads, I will make them non-stop. Sometimes even for lunches and dinners, I'll just double up. I need them every day until I get sick of them. But I'm yet to get sick of this salad. Okay, and then for the asparagus, kind of the same, but I usually just have them in chunks like this. A lot of making a salad look nice is how you chop things. You can chop vegetables in so many different ways. You can make them into ribbons. I've done that with asparagus before. You can make the same salad but make it look so different. Lastly, I'm going to chop up this avocado. All those healthy fats in this salad. This really gives it some substance because I know the rest of it feels like it's just greens, whereas the avocado makes it feel like it's got some weight to it. Makes it into a main salad, that and the almonds too. Okay, so one of my favorite tricks to find the best avocado, the secret is this little thing up here. So when you take this off, if it comes off easily and it's more of a yellowy color, that means that it's ripe. And if it's very green, then that means it's not ripe, which is a very odd way to assess it, but that's the way I do it. And also you want it to be firm enough where the pieces still hold together, but soft enough to be able to give it a slight squeeze. And if you're making guacamole, make sure you keep the seed in the bowl when you've taken all the avocado out because it actually stops it from going brown. So that's everything chopped. Oh no, it's not everything chopped up. I like to put in a little bit of color into this because everything's green. So you can leave it green, but these radishes add something to it. I slice them really thinly. Sometimes I'll use a mandolin for it, but because everyone doesn't have a mandolin, I'm gonna just slice them really thinly. With these peas, they're actually frozen and I just popped a bit of hot water on them and then drained them out, and it gave it the perfect texture to put into a salad. We've got all of our veggies ready and now it's time to make the dressing. So for the dressing, it's a simple vinaigrette. I use some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, of course, some lemon, but you can also use apple cider vinegar if you want to. A trick that I love with lemons is if you're finding that the lemon's a little bit hard and you don't get much juice out of it, you can heat it up a little bit if you want to, or you roll it like this and you'll automatically feel all the juice coming out and feeling a lot looser. Some Dijon mustard, Dijon mustard, Dijon moutarde. Moutarde de Dijon. Moutarde de Dijon. Okay, and then I'm putting in a little bit of agave because you know you need some sweetness to balance out the sourness. Some salt, some pepper. Okay, let's shake it off like Taylor Swift. Shake it off. The thing is with dressings, you don't want them to be too thin because then it doesn't really coat the vegetables, and so you have to emulsify it. And emulsifying comes with either blending or shaking thoroughly, and that's when the oil and the vinegars actually blend properly together to form a thicker substance. So if your dressing isn't thick enough, you either need to blend it, give it a shake, or you need to add maybe a little bit more oil into it. Let me see. Yum. Let's assemble. Okay, so first I'm going to put in the rocket or arugula, depending on where you are in the world. And then we go in with the snap peas. I like to mix all my salad together. If I'm doing it for visual reasons, I might keep things a little bit separate. But I think salads are best done when they're all, you know, they all get to know each other, all the ingredients. Throw in the avocado. Now I've got salted and roasted almonds because I always find the texture of them a little bit better than raw ones. And I'm honestly just gonna roughly chop them. Nothing too precious. I don't like adding in my dressing until I'm about to eat it, just because I feel like the acid can end up making the rest of the veggies soft. So if you are taking this somewhere, keep the dressing on the side for people to add on or for you to add on when you get there. Second salad done, on to the third one. We could not do a video about summer salads and not have the juicy fruits that summer brings. So this is a watermelon peach salad. Like that. I basically chop it into small pieces, so I like to just get into it. I usually do it into chunks like this. Take off the skin. So it's cubes like this, 1-inch cubes. Oh, I have peaches and nectarines for this one. So you can get peaches, you can get nectarines. I saw both, so I got both. So I'm gonna do a mixture of them. It really is up to you, depending on which ones feel juicier and have the better quality when you go to the supermarket. Oh my God, that's amazing. I love peaches. Nectarines are harder and less sweet, but still have a nice like tang and texture to it. So all of this together will be really great. And then we're gonna add some cucumber in, which maybe you didn't expect, but it actually adds a really nice balance to the sweetness of the peaches and the watermelon, and they all go really well together too. So I usually take out the wet seedy bit in the middle, just because the texture ends up being a bit weird in salads. You can definitely eat it because it's got a lot of hydration, but it ends up making the salad feel a bit soggy sometimes. And then even with that, I'm just gonna really thin slices. So that's pretty much all the chopping of the salad done. And now I'm going to make the dressing, and oh my gosh, pistachios are in this, but I thought I bought the shelled ones. So now I must sit here and de-shell these. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw it all into a bowl. A beautiful one, ideally. So pretty, oh my gosh, the colors. We are going to chop up some basil. Basil and watermelon, weirdly, go very well together. If you've ever had a basil and watermelon mojito, delish, or virgin mojito, which is what I've had. The leaves, I don't cut the stalks up because sometimes they can be a bit bitter. And then grab some mint. It's so hot here, my mint has gotten a bit sad, but the flavor will still survive. Just gonna chop it up super fine. Some people have never tried fruit salads like this and can be extremely skeptical because there's a lot of sweet and savory mix happening and it feels a bit uncomfortable until you try it, and then you will be obsessed, just like I am. Okay, so for this dressing, it is pretty simple. It's a lime and mint vinaigrette. So we're going in with some olive oil, as expected. And then we're gonna do the same thing we did with those lemons and give it a right squeeze. And again, the same with this. If you're not eating it straight away, don't put the dressing on because it will make the salad split water and it won't taste as good. A little bit, tiny bit of maple syrup or agave, a tiny bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Then I'm gonna chop some mint up super fine. Another shake. Wow, that is so yummy. You really can tell the difference between lime and lemon when you use them in dressings. Lime has a sweeter taste, it's less acidic, and I really like it for this, especially when you do watermelon, mint and lime together. It's the perfect combination. The last thing we have to do on this is chop up these pistachios extremely roughly and then sprinkle these on top. It just screams summer. Summer in a bowl. So there you have it, my 3 favorite summer salads at the moment, and now it's time for you to make them. Let me know if you try it, and I would love to hear all your feedback, and I hope you have such a wonderful, wonderful summer.